Got a good question from a man, Jesse Henderson, and he said, I know that social media is a big part of marketing, but what are some old school street guerrilla marketing that you can do to help promote your brand? I want to attack this. Okay, I have a couple things that I want to say about this point. First of all, when I talk about social media, I did a video on this, that you should have a marketing program. I'm going to drop a link to it right below while I'm talking. So check that video out either before or after this video. But when I talk to a lot of brands, I just started consulting with another brand just this past week. And so the first thing I'll ask is what their numbers are. So do you have a Facebook page? Do you have an Instagram? Well, first of all, if you don't have an Instagram handle, there's a huge problem. And how many followers do you have? And how do you expect to get more followers? How do you expect to get more fans on Facebook? These are basic questions that you should ask within trying to implement a program in marketing. Because simply having them is not enough. I talk about that a lot in the other video. So first of all, it's just like your stats if you're an athlete. You gotta monitor your numbers, and how can you get those numbers higher? Because if you're like every other brand, then you're gonna have the results of every other brand, and you're probably not going to succeed. To be honest, you gotta really work above and beyond, especially now where there's more and more brands popping up every month. And so I like that Jesse is asking me about like more old school tactics. This is really good. Apparel is different from a lot of other businesses, which is both good and bad. At the end of the day, there's a lot of people that want to touch and feel the garments. T-shirts much less, because everyone kind of knows what a t-shirt is like. But a lot of buyers and customers and consumers, there's a segment that still really needs to feel the actual garment, hold it, obviously try it on. Now digitally, there's a lot of business that gets conducted via Amazon, Zappos, Karmaloop.com, or any little shop that has a web store can sell online. But there's something to be said about manpower, having some sort of a street team, because way back before Facebook, clothing companies used to recruit for street team. So, it would be individuals from different cities. It's similar to what other companies are doing with campus reps. Campus reps are very interesting, by the way, for clothing lines. I should do a video on that, where it's somewhere in between an internship and what we're talking about here, Jesse, with sort of street marketing or having a street team. So I would Google campus reps and take a look at some. I know a few companies that have really successful programs with that. Before, though, we used to have guerrilla marketing teams or street teams. So it's like, hey, click this link to come to get down with our street team. And I feel like it's disappeared a little bit, because the frequency of clothing lines, and everyone kind of wants to do their own clothing line. But, bigger companies still have it. I think it's a smart program to instill. In terms of that old school route, you could definitely do that. Dedicate a page on your website, and make sure, though, this is the same as with interns, but make sure that they have something out of it. Make sure they're getting something out of it. If you do like a campus rep program, then they have the same things that an internship would get. So, a letter of recommendation and the experience and the exposure. I believe if you have troops on the ground, it's definitely a good thing. The thing that is a plus with clothing in this regard is there's physical locations. Let's say you get a really dope flyer. You need to connect with someone that could place it into those shops. So ship it to someone trusted and have them flyer up a couple of different locations. But that's really it. I think reviving the importance of a street team in a smart way, so it doesn't have to be called a street team. Also, I think having manpower digitally, so a combination of both digital and a street team. Start a secret Facebook group where you find individuals that are really stoked on the clothing line, and maybe they're really, really, really big fans. So you take a portion of those fans, I would say a small portion of them, start with maybe 5 and say, hey, and really concentrate on the 5 and say, hey, would you like to be a part of a group? Create a name for the group. My internship crew that I mentioned a lot was called Second Brigade. So there was a feeling of a team, and it had its own identity, not just like the interns for Orisu Clothing, which is pretty cool to say you're interning for a clothing company. But I created a separate identity, and then I created a secret Facebook group. And now, even though I'm no longer at Orisu, we still remain tight with that group. So create your own secret Facebook group and have a kind of guerrilla army that's online. So, and then a big plus is if, say, those 5 people are from 5 different cities, now you have the benefit of flyer placement if you send them flyers or, you know, any sort of event that you want to pub that's not in your city that you get involved with. They can also work as beacons for letting you know things that in situations you could get involved with or events you could get involved with in other cities. So this kind of goes back to relationships and the power of working with the right people and finding the right people. But I also want to say, if you recruit anybody to any of your teams, make sure you think about what they get out of it, because it's the fastest way to lose really good people is to have really nothing in it for them, no growth at all. So it's similar mindset. Well, it's a similar mindset as thinking of an internship program. So once you have them in the program, like, what do they get out of it, and what are you going to do along the process? Jesse, good question. Hope that helps. Any comments, any links, anything you want to add, drop it down below. Connect with me on Instagram and Twitter at Jon Phenom. If this gave you any value, please like it, comment, and sub me. I'll see you guys on the next one. I love you all. Peace.